Hi guys, my name is Carrie Flowers. I am a teacher and I coach volleyball. Currently we are in basketball season because I coach that too. And I also am a blog owner. I started about a year ago almost, I think, telling my story, and I'd like to go camping and stuff, which I'll get into that. But I got into blogging to tell my story basically, and I have met a couple of bloggers, but one that I've really started following and truly enjoy watching and reading her stuff is Amber, and her blog is rubiesfromruins.com. And she has a beautiful little family, very, very sweet human being. And she just started this new thing where she's going to get videos from different women just from wherever who've been through things, not just all accidents like mine, but they've been through things, and what is their story and how did they come out on the other side. And I think it's really cool that she's doing that. We don't have the capabilities of helping every person we come across, no matter how hard or cool or horrible our stories are. We can't reach every single person. So I think it's cool that she's sharing stories of other people on her page with the people that she has contact with. That's pretty cool. So she asked me to do it, and I'm very excited about it. So we're about to give it a go. Here's my story. So, like I said earlier, my name is Carrie Flowers. I have a blog. It's karmaflowtrails.com. Karmaflow is C-A-R from Carrie, Marie, M-A, and then Flow, flowers. And I leave trails, and I like camping and stuff, so I thought Karmaflow Trails was pretty cool. But yes, I have the blog where I talk about my camping and stuff, but it took me a long time to get there. 15 years ago, I was in a car accident. I was 18 years old, and it was about a month before my high school graduation. It was April 10th. And I had gone out, and on the way home, I fell asleep, and I hit a guardrail on a curve. Whenever I hit this side of the guardrail, I overcorrected and went through the actual curve part and the inside of the curve. And then I didn't have my seatbelt on, so I was thrown out of my car. The door came off, the driver's side door, so I think that's probably how I exited the vehicle. But in that, I broke my back at T10 and T11 is where my spine broke. My spinal cord was completely severed. I had a bruised spleen, both of my lungs collapsed, and I had 3 fractured ribs. And I have like a gash over here on this side of me. Kind of looks like a bear attacked me. I always tell people first off, that was my bear attack. But then I told them the truth. Shouldn't have said that. Now everybody's going to know my secret. And then I had like a tiny gash on my face, but it went away. So they took me with the ambulance to a little spot where they put me on a helicopter. I was life flighted to Tallahassee, TMH, in Florida. They did emergency surgery on me, and I was in ICU. I was in ICU for about a week, and then they put me on the regular orthopedic floor for a week. I was on lots of pain medication. I don't remember. I was never really sad or cried. Even when they told me, I can't really remember what I said when they told me that I was paralyzed. I think I told them I wanted to take a nap. I think because I remember being kind of annoyed, like they thought I didn't know because I wasn't getting up and walking. But really, I mean, I didn't completely know. Nobody had told me yet. But I didn't cry, and I was just always thinking, when are they going to let me go? Like, when are they going to let me get out of this bed? Because I got stuff I got to do, graduation was coming up. And so my mom and dad, both of them, they were really headstrong about me going to Atlanta, to Shepherd Center in Atlanta, because they are just a brain and spinal cord injury place. And the place that the hospital was trying to get me to go to was actually TMH, rehab. It was a bunch of older people, knees, hip replacements. Like it wouldn't have been what I want. TMH actually told me that I was gonna have to wear high top shoes the rest of my life. I was like, ooh, I don't wear those. Turns out, no, I do not. I can wear sandals and flat shoes and tennis shoes and all kinds of shoes. Flip flops don't work well. But all the others, flip flops are what I used to wear. So that was a bummer at first, but I got over it. I learned there's sandals out there that are just as cute as flip flops now. So we're okay. Yeah, it was really good that I got into Atlanta. So I went up to Atlanta. I was there for 3 weeks. They told me that I was not going to be able to make it to my high school graduation. And I was like really bummed about that. I'm like, y'all tell me what I need to do and I'll do it. And maybe we can make something work out here, you know? And they did. After 3 weeks, they released me. I think it was for like 10 days. And I went home. So I was at my high school graduation, rolled across it is not one of the nice wheelchairs like this one. It was one of those crappy ones. But I was there. I was in attendance. So that was cool. And then I went back up to Atlanta. They did not really admit me to the hospital then. So I was in like an outpatient thing, but they had apartments that we stayed in for free. We didn't have to pay to stay in there. So it was kind of like I was admitted back into the hospital, but I wasn't. Like I was across the street down the road in apartments that the hospital owned. And they did that so we could have like our families that were going to help take care of us and us learning how to live on our own. And I loved it because then we didn't have the nurses. We didn't have all that kind of stuff. You know, I didn't have to be in the hospital anymore. I had been there quite a while. So that was pretty cool. And I did that for another 3 weeks. And, during all that time, I remember I was not even out of TMH yet. I was still in Tallahassee. I may have still been in the ICU. My mom had told me, you know, Carrie, 1 in 8 people with disabilities get a college education. And I was like, okay, well, I'll be that one. You know, I had no even thought that I was going to not go to college, you know, like that. It didn't stop there, you know. And that originally I had wanted to I started going to Texas whenever I was 16. One of my friends, she had moved from Texas and came to my school. And so whenever I was 16, I started visiting Texas and making a lot of friends, which is where I'm at now. This is Texas. And so I had planned on moving to Texas, living there for like 2 years and getting in-state tuition fees. And then I was going to start college. So I didn't put in any college applications anywhere in Florida because I didn't have that as a plan. Sorry if you hear my dog, she's itching. That wasn't anywhere in my plan. So my mom had put in college applications for me whenever I was like in the hospital, and she had put into both Chipola and TCC. TCC was in Tallahassee. Chipola, we called it the 13th grade because a lot of people from my small town went there. And I chose to go to TCC. I wanted to go to the bigger school. I wanted to, you know, meet new people. So I started that fall. I got out of Shepherd, the rehab, sometime probably in June, I would think. And I had to go down to Gainesville to learn how to drive with hand controls because I can't use the pedals anymore. And so I did that, and then I started college. I had no idea what I wanted to do or be. So I did like all the AA classes that you needed. I took a class in Indigo. She's making noises. I took classes. I took a marine biology class. I took a biology class. I took an astronomy class. And really still didn't know what I wanted to be. I took a computer course. I'm out. Didn't want to do computers. I ended up transferring to FSU. And by the time I got there, I was like, okay, got to pick a major, right? So I did rehabilitation services. Well, I took one class and it was like over, Indy, please stop. I took it over, it was a minorities thing, and so it had in rehabilitation services when you deal with minority groups, and people with disabilities were one. And I was learning the things that I would have to say and watch what not to say. And I was like, okay, can't do that, like I would offend everybody, I think. I don't care if people call me disabled, handicapped, anything. I mean, I am. I can't walk, so it is what it is. So I didn't need to do that. I would probably not keep a job. And so I changed. I think I tried computer. No, I did business. I took a business class. I did a whole semester on business, realized that wasn't going to be my thing. And then I did, can't remember what else, but then I ended up environmental science. So because I had taken the astronomy, astrology, I liked the earth, I liked learning how things worked. I had no idea what kind of job I would get with that degree, but whatever, it was a degree, I was going somewhere, right? So that's what I did. I just stuck to it, and I did that. I loved going to school. I loved the classes I took. I took a marine resources. It was all about fishing. I took a class that was national parks. It was just on national parks. That was pretty cool. All the places I can go camping now that I've discovered I can camp by myself. So yeah, I went through school, I dated, I had a boyfriend, I ended up getting engaged. That didn't work out. We ended up calling that quits. I've dated, quite a few people, had a normal life. And once I got done with college, I ended up taking tests to become a teacher. I had to go through more schooling. So I started teaching 8 years ago, in Florida. I taught there, and after 4 years, I was like, you know what? I was single for the first time in a while, and I really had nothing that was holding me to Florida. And I was like, I was kind of talking to a guy from Texas at this point because I had started going back and visiting. But, I'm like, I always wanted to move to Texas before my accident, so maybe I should do that. And so I did. I applied. I got a job. I got 2 job offers, actually, and I had another school wanting to interview me, and sorry, it's kind of late. Interview me. It's probably not even late. I don't know because I'm on my phone, but it was probably like 6:30. But this time it's been dark, so I feel like it's already 12 o'clock. I had job offers, so I was like, oh, that's cool. I didn't even think I was going to get a job, but I got one, so I moved. And then the guy that I was talking to, we started dating and we broke up, and that was a really hard time in my life. That was probably harder than the car accident. Car accident, I was like this happy little 18-year-old just ready to go to college, and learn how to drive. And then I got my car, and I was just trying to do the things that you're supposed to do when you're young. And then whenever I was here all alone, none of my family lives here. I have friends, but they're not family. And then me and this guy broke up, and I was in a bad spot. I felt super, super duper alone. I ended up being like, it was summertime. We broke up right before summer, like a month maybe before summer break started. But then here we are at summertime, and I'm like, I want to go somewhere. I want to do this. I want to do that. Da, 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 da. And so I'm like, I'm going to go and camp in Grand Canyon, which is like 2-day drive from my house. And I started planning it out. I started looking everything up, and I asked a couple people if they wanted to go. Nobody wanted to go. I started telling people I was going to Grand Canyon to go camping, and people thought I was crazy. But I've been called crazy my whole life. So I was like, whatever. Well, then started getting all this stuff together, and then I started freaking myself out. I'm like, man, 2 days in the car, like, where am I going to sleep? First night, am I going to sleep in my car? Like, maybe I should go somewhere where it's like within driving, like a day, So I look up all these places, and I found some places in Arkansas, and knew that Arkansas had some forest and mountains and stuff. So I decided to go to Arkansas, and it was there. That was my first solo camping trip. I had borrowed a little one-man tent, borrowed everything. I've gone camping lots and lots in my life, but never alone. And I've done most of my camping at Disney World campgrounds in Orlando, but I've gone in Colorado with my sister. We've done camping with her, and I've always enjoyed it. So this was something that I could do. If I could go and set this little one-man tent up by myself, me and my dog could go camping for cheap because I'm a teacher and I don't make a lot of money. And with all the free time that I had, and here I am single, I needed to find my hobby, So I went, and it was the coolest, most funnest trip I've ever had. I felt so much more independent, than I ever have in my life. And I live by myself now. Whenever I moved here, I lived with my friend, and then me and the boyfriend got a place, and then I moved to an apartment. I love my little apartment. Whenever me and him had broken up. And in Florida, I bought a house. I still own it. I have people renting it. They're supposed to buy it, so hopefully they're buying it soon. But I owned a house, and I lived there by myself. So I've lived with people. I've lived with parents, and I've lived with friends. I've had roommates and stuff through college. I had roommates. But now I live alone. I drive. I do my own laundry. I do all that stuff. I get my friends to help me pump gas. I'm not that good yet. I could do it, but it's just a lot. So one of my coworkers, she rides with me a lot. So I try to get her to. She lives at my apartment, so it's easy. We go to the same place. We come home to the same place, and so she can ride with me. So I get her to help me get gas a lot now. But whenever I did the camping thing, it was on the way back from that camping trip that I was like, you know what? I gotta share my journey, because I think I'm about to do some cool stuff. And I don't have time to go camping like I would like and go on vacations like I like, because I coach and I teach. But, summer, the break's about to come up, and I go home. I'm going home to Florida every single break I get. So that takes up a lot of my time. So maybe one day I can move back there, and then whenever I have breaks, I don't have to go home to visit. But I hope to have some sort of camping trip whenever I go. I take my camping stuff when I go. Me and Mom will go camping for a few nights here and there sometimes. So, I'm really thankful that my boyfriend broke up with me. I thought it was the hardest thing that I had ever gone through, and that sounds silly because I broke my back, but I was, like I said earlier, I was just young and trying to move on. I didn't put much thought into this and how it changed my life. I just kept living. But then whenever Indy, please stop. Please stop. Whenever I was single and all alone, I felt I was only that way for about, I don't know, a couple weeks, and then I was like, you know what, I'm fine, I don't need him, and then I went on the camping thing, and I was like, the world is open, it's my campground, and I was all happy and cool. But it was the best thing that could have happened to me, him breaking up with me, because it made me get out of my comfort zone and go do something that I never had done before. Which was camping alone, and it gave me the confidence that I needed. And so on the way back, that's whenever I was like, I got to come up with a blog name. I think I'm gonna, share this. And since then, I started a YouTube channel. I have my own personal page, and I have a Carrie Flowers page. I should probably turn it into Karma Flow Trails page, but I have that, and then I have my blog, which is karmaflowtrails.com. And, I've met a lot of really cool people. I've met other people in wheelchairs that do way cooler stuff than I do. I got invited to go to Colorado World Team. It's a nonprofit. And they put on this thing. It's this race every single year. And they have one person that's in a wheelchair and one person that is an amputee of some sort or has like a brain injury, and then 3 regular people. And they put you in groups of 5, and you go through the mountains of Colorado. And it's really, really the toughest thing I've ever done in my life. But I met some of the most coolest people there, in wheelchairs and not in wheelchairs. And so that was really cool. I have met tons of people. Brian Swift, he has another nonprofit called SOAR, and SOAR has helped me so much. I've met Ben Hunsinger. He makes his own outdoor wheelchairs and sells them for like $500, which is really cool. And I've helped him. He's, I have one of his chairs, and I've helped him kind of promote those chairs. And it's cool, the people that I've met and the things that I have been able to accomplish by just reaching out and opening my story up a little bit to people. Amber, I would have never met her if I, didn't get into blogging. And we don't talk on the phone, but I follow her. She follows me. I feel like she's somebody that I truly am getting to know. One day maybe I'll be in her area and we can, actually meet and go have lunch or something, and she does all her live videos and I'm trying to start do that. I think I've done like 3. But I am so self-conscious, but maybe if we ever do that, we'll go live together. So yeah, and I think what got me through everything that I've done is that I had a mom that was like, there's 1 in 8 people that have disabilities that actually get a college education. Nobody really gave up on me, and they met with my friends at the school and were like, Carrie's going to be very different. She's going to probably gain a lot of weight and be a little overweight. She's probably going to be really depressed, and she's probably this and that and other. Y'all are going to need to be really good friends with her. And my friend Sela, she told me later on, she was like, you never did any of that, And I think with me, I believe in God. I have this necklace. I had a cross on whenever I wrecked. I'm not I don't go to church all the time, but I totally believe in God. I totally do praying. I totally do thanking, and I think it's my mentality that helps me get through it. I still got to do, I still have things I got to take care of. I'm still a person. I still have bills, still have goals. And life sucks sometimes, and bad things happen to good people. Bad things happen to bad people too, but bad things happen all the time. And, you can't sit around and think, why me? I have one friend, he always hashtags, it's not why me, it's try me, and anything that I come across, nothing has stopped me. I've gone through heartbreaks. I've gone through being in a wheelchair, not being able to walk. I've gone through not liking coworkers. I've gone through not having, my best friends aren't my best friends anymore. I've gone through a lot. I've had 2 of my very best friends pass away. I've had grandfathers pass away. I've gone through a lot of stuff, and life is going to keep happening whether I'm sitting in this chair or not. And I think that's something that I picked up on at a very, early time in my accident. I didn't think that I got out of not having to go to college. I was on disability, but you can't live off $500 a month. So I knew I had to go to college, right? I had to get a job. And I never really stopped. And a lot of times when bad things are happening, people, they start, feeling sorry for themselves and thinking, why am I having to do this? Why does this happen to me? It doesn't matter why. It happens to all of us. Our car batteries die, our washers go out, our, pipes get clogged, and it's what happens. We have to buy Drano. We have to get a new washing machine. We have to replace our batteries. And so those things happen to everybody, and we're all born and we all die. So I think getting bogged down when those bad things happen to you is where we make the biggest mistakes. You've got to just keep going and not think the whole why me thing, because it's happening to somebody somewhere else. It's happening to probably 100 somebodies somewhere else the same time it's happening to you. And that is really probably what has always kept me going. I do have a positive kind of outlook. No matter what bad happens, I always think it's going to be okay, and it will. Over time, bad things kind of wear off a little bit, unless you stay there with it. So with me, I just keep Amber earlier, she was like, I just really look up to you and how you've pushed forward. And I was like, yeah, I have pushed through forward everything. I make jokes all the time about me being in my wheelchair. My coworkers are always like, oh, I can't stand you, because I get those jokes in there. And make it fun, make it something that doesn't scare other people. Because I remember I told Mom, I was like, Mom, I'm not going to be a good person in a wheelchair. People in wheelchairs scare me, And people in wheelchairs aren't scary. They're not, they're a little different. but they are not scary. And they actually, I guess I should stop saying they because I am in a wheelchair. We're just like everybody else. We're just trying to make it through life, and we have bad things happen to us on top of being in a wheelchair. So sitting there and being gloomy about it all the time and being poor, pitiful me would really make life hard. So I have tried to do the best of my ability of not letting that happen. I tried to do these videos like 3-4 times and I kept messing up. Or Indy would do her scratching thing and then I would stop. So sorry if you heard her too much. I apologize for my voice. Coaching and teaching has kind of made it all crackly. But hopefully I didn't bore you guys too much and maybe you stayed with me this long. If you ever have any questions about anything, anybody that maybe could talk to me. I have a lot of people that get in accidents that, let me talk to them. And I don't have a whole lot to say, but just being somebody that went through this and being there for other people, like that's something cool. Because whenever I first got in my accident, I met people at Shepherd, but after that, Facebook wasn't a thing. Now there's groups and there's so many ways to connect with people, and I didn't know other people in wheelchairs for the longest time. Whenever I just went to this thing in Colorado, I was like, oh my God, there's really cool people out there in wheelchairs because I've been living life, so my life is just really opened up to all these cool things you can do. So if you know anybody that gets in a car accident or falls off a ladder or anything, breaks their back, now she's snoring. I apologize. Tell them to contact me, Carrie Flowers. There's 2 of them. There's actually 3 of them. One's my teacher page. It's got the cat. Don't add that one. But Carrie Flowers or CarmenFlowTrails.com. Anybody can email me, CarmenFlowTrails@gmail.com. Reach out, let me know if you want to talk. I talk to people all the time through Messenger. I have a bunch of buddies now that I talk to all the time. They message me, and sometimes I can message back, sometimes I can't, and I have to apologize. But hopefully someone took something from this and they may feel better about life. So keep watching Amber's stuff. I know I'm going to be following along with it because she's going to have a lot of cool stories on here. Hope you enjoyed this one and have a good evening.